Muy buenas chicos y chicas, al habla Chibi y aquí seguimos en Final Fantasy XVI. Vamos a continuar un poquito más, tenemos más misiones secundarias y cacerías que hacer, pero antes vamos a entrar en habilidades y como tengo bastantes puntos de habilidad, creo que voy a mejorar las garras fulmíneas, ya que es una técnica que utilizamos mucho una vez que derribamos a los enemigos, así que no está de más dominarla. Y hecho esto, ahora sí, vamos con la primera misión secundaria. Tenemos que dirigirnos al taller de Mid. Parece ser que tenemos una misión con el símbolo más, lo cual significa que esa misión nos va a reportar un beneficio. ¿Qué beneficio? No lo vamos a saber hasta que hagamos la misión, pero normalmente son cosas que nos van a venir muy bien para la historia. Pues venga, vamos a hablar con... ¿Con quién tenemos que hablar? Creo que es el ayudante de Mid.
Here, Sid. Reckon you might be just the man to help me out of a bit of bother, if you've a mind to.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's about this alembic the chief's got me making. Lovely bit of kit it is. Bung in a solution you want splitting, and it will separate it out, just like that. Problem is, it won't always get rid of all the impurities. And with some of the stuff we need it for, that ain't good enough. Which is why I've been looking for something to filter the liquid we'll be cooking off. And that's where I was hoping you could help me out.
I imagine Ty could get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling medicines and the like. Alright, why not?
Proper job!
So what exactly do you need for this filter?
Nothing but bomb ash'll do, says the chief. Gave me a sample she'd obtained from the university stores. Couldn't believe my eyes. You pour the blackest blight water through it, and it comes out clear as a mountain stream. So, I did a bit of reading about where I might be able to get hold of some. And do you know what I found out? It's only the blimmin' bones of a bomb king. They leave them behind when they die, see?
I take it that's where I come in.
If you wouldn't mind. I saw a billet on the hunt board for one just the other day. Would have gone myself, but, well, fighting dirty great balls of flame isn't exactly my forte. You, on the other hand...
Alright. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you kindly. And good hunting, eh?
Pues misión aceptada, operaciones de separación. Tenemos que derrotar a un rey bomb, chicos. Eso suena peligroso, ¿eh? Es una escoria, nos dice que consultemos el tablón, pero realmente no hace falta. Tan solo salís al minimapa y os dirigís al nido del dragón. Aquí es donde vamos a encontrar al rey bomb. Bueno, ya estamos por aquí. Lo primero, vamos a llamar a Ambrosía. Vamos a montar en nuestro chocobo. Y nos vamos a dirigir hacia la izquierda. Podéis ir pegados al muro o por el camino. ¿Vale, chicos? Fijaros bien por dónde voy. Lógicamente pasamos de todos los enemigos. No me voy a parar a enfrentarme a nadie. Aunque tampoco vendría mal recargar esas barras de límite para poder activar la superación. Pero bueno, da igual, no pasa nada. Vamos a entrar aquí. Estamos en el coto de caza imperial. Avanzamos por el camino, recogemos algún brillo. Y en cuanto tengamos la oportunidad, vamos a girar a la izquierda. Por aquí, justo antes del muro. No se ve muy bien el camino, pero está, ¿vale, gente? En caso de que tengáis dudas, abrís el mapa y enseguida lo veréis. Avanzáis por este camino hasta llegar a una especie de ruinas. Lo primero, vamos a agarrar el brillo que tenemos justo a la derecha. Os muestro la ubicación en el mapa para que no haya dudas. Agarramos este brillo y entramos a las ruinas. Ahí tenemos al Rey Bomb, clase B. No debería de ser muy difícil. Ok, vamos a comenzar la batalla. Intentad no utilizar técnicas de daño grupal, porque las vais a necesitar. Por el momento, centraros en mantener las distancias y aprender los ataques del Rey Bomb, para así poder esquivar con relativa facilidad, ¿vale, chicos? Coronación, esto es muy fácil de esquivar porque básicamente se trata de una bola de fuego, como habéis visto, y con moveros es más que suficiente. Luego tenemos un disparo normal de bola de fuego. Tenemos también una especie de llamarada y también unas bolitas que son de color morado, muy fáciles de esquivar. Estos son los ataques del Rey Bomb, al menos al principio. Entonces nada, vamos a ir haciéndole daño poquito a poco. Ok. Vale, aquí comienzan los problemas. Consejo real, salís del área para no recibir daño y en ese momento el Rey Bomb invocará a otros bombs. Entonces aquí debéis utilizar las técnicas grupales para quitaros los de en medio lo antes posible, o bien otra opción es estar esquivando continuamente los ataques hasta que esos bombs exploten, como estáis viendo. Si mantenéis las distancias no os harán daño. Una vez que desaparezcan tendréis esas llamas moradas por el campo, pero desaparecen a los pocos segundos y ya podréis seguir atacando al Rey Bomb sin problemas. Al cabo de un tiempo volverá a utilizar otra vez la técnica de consejo real. Tenéis que tener mucho cuidado en el momento en el que aparezcan los bombs de esquivar, porque todos os van a lanzar bolas de fuego nada más aparecer. Entonces o bien lanzáis una técnica grupal, que eso os hace invulnerables durante unos segundos y así no os coméis el daño, como habéis visto, o bien esquiváis rápidamente. Bueno, podemos seguir ya golpeándole. Le hemos quitado más de la mitad de la vida. Vale, me he quemado ahí. Tengo que tener cuidado con las llamas del suelo. Nos recuperamos con el modo de superación. Y por cierto, el Rey Bomb tiene un nuevo ataque, una embestida de fuego. Cuidadito con eso. Muy fácil de esquivar, pero bueno, es un ataque nuevo que os puede pillar por sorpresa. Estamos recuperando la vida, genial. Mientras tanto se está llevando un montón de daño. Vale, consejo real de nuevo. Ahí se va el tornadito. Vamos esquivando. Perfecto. Mantenemos las distancias. Como podéis ver, mientras tanto el tornado está haciendo muchísimo daño. Vale, explotan los bombs. Ojo, cuidado, que ahora se llena todo de llamas, chicos. Vale, estamos a punto de derrotar ya al Rey Bomb. Un poquito más, un poquito más. Y... ¿lo tenemos? Lo tenemos. Escoria derrotada. Facilito. Y como recompensa, alma de bomb. Este material lo vamos a utilizar dentro de poquito. Pero la misión no acaba aquí, sino que ahora tenemos que recoger 3 cenizas de bomb, que estarán esparcidas por este campo de batalla. Agarramos las 3 muestras. Ahí está la última. A ver. Ahora. Y ya podemos volver. Vamos a entregarle la ceniza a Wayne. De vuelta a la guarida. Estoy deseando ver cuál es la recompensa de esta misión. Va a ser un beneficio que nos vendrá muy bien, estoy seguro. Vamos rápidamente hacia el taller de Mid. La verdad es que el Rey Bomb me daba un poquito de miedo, porque los bombs suelen ser bastante peligrosos, no solo por sus ataques de fuego, sino por el hecho de que pueden explotar y hacer muchísimo daño. Pero no ha sido nada difícil, me ha sorprendido. Me ha sorprendido la facilidad de ese combate. Bueno, ya hemos llegado aquí al taller, vamos a hablar con Owain y a ver qué nos dice.
All right there, Sid? How's that hunt for the bomb ash going?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. Enough to keep the alembic bubbling away for a good old while. You're a gent, Sid. Let none say otherwise. Right then, let's get this contraption up and running. There we have it. The Telemon alembic. And it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need. The good it will do for the hideaway is reward enough.
Don't be silly. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work some magic on that, huh?
What kind of magic?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the alembic that I reckon will make even the toughest lever supple as anything. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway a few gil. Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to squeeze in a bottle or two more.
Well, it can't hurt to try, I suppose.
That's the spirit. Leave it with me. I'll only be a mo. Well, what do you reckon?
It certainly feels more flexible.
Right? Told you.
Thank you. I think.
No. Thank you for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. Without you, we'd never have been able to discover wonders like that stuff I rubbed on your bag. And I'm telling you, there's plenty more where that came from.
Misión cumplida. Ok, bastante experiencia y recompensa moral flexible. Ahora puedes llevar más objetos consumibles. ¡Qué bien! Ahora que has conseguido el morral flexible, podrás llevar más objetos consumibles, hasta 6 pociones, 4 ultra pociones y 3 de sales. Me gusta. No es que hagamos muchísimo uso de las ultra pociones y pociones, pero bueno, en caso de necesidad, o que vosotros hagáis mucho uso de los objetos, os vendrá muy bien. Ok chicos, pues tenemos que seguir con las misiones secundarias, pero si os fijáis y abrís el mapa, probablemente veréis que no hay señales de misiones secundarias. Entonces os preguntaréis, ¿cómo las activamos? Tan solo tenemos que ir al camarote de Cid, o mejor dicho de Clive. Vamos a leer las cartas y esas cartas vendrán acompañadas de misiones secundarias. Entonces ponemos rumbo al camarote. Vamos para allá. Y recomiendo que hagáis las misiones en el orden en el que las voy a hacer yo. ¿Vale chicos? No tenéis por qué, pero bueno, es recomendable. Vamos a leer cartas. La que vamos a leer es nuestro Herrero está en las nubes. Esta es la que me interesa. Gracias por lo del otro día. El cuero curtido que le entregaste a Blackthorn le devolvió los ánimos, pero parece que el efecto no ha durado mucho. Vuelve a estar más pensativo de lo normal y a veces hasta pone cara de haberle olido el aliento a un molbol cuando bate el hierro. Parece que hay algo más que no nos ha contado. Yo voy a estar un tiempo fuera de la guarida, sé que andas ocupado y tal, pero ¿me harías el favor de hablar con él y averiguar qué le pasa? August. Pues claro que sí, hablaremos con él.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak to Blackthorn just in case.
Misión aceptada. Tribulaciones de un Herrero 2. Y esta misión viene acompañada de otro beneficio, y creedme que es muy bueno. Hablemos con Blackthorn.
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, and you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else weighing on your mind? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, he's got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me, the edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you.
Nah. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword.
Esto va de espadas bien afiladas. Me gusta. Me gusta por dónde va esto. Hablemos con Karen.
You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want? Out with it.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely sharp.
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Delmechian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, and he's a touch eccentric, if you take my meaning.
I appreciate the warning.
Ok, pues ya sabemos dónde encontrar esa espada que tanto le interesa a Blackthorn. Vamos a ir al minimapa y nos vamos a dirigir aquí, a Dalimil. Vamos a entrar en la posada que tenemos justo a nuestra derecha. Y el coleccionista que buscamos se encuentra en el segundo piso. Subís por las escaleras y vais al fondo del pasillo.
My reputation will be ruined. Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamal is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Vale, parece que tendremos que recuperar las pertenencias de ese hombre maleducado para poder saber algo de esa espada tan bien afilada. Y se encuentran en el jergón, que como veis está en la parte norte. Creo que lo ideal es teletransportarse aquí al desierto de Belroy, y desde esta zona vamos a poder llegar un poquito más fácilmente. Vamos con ambrosía, lógicamente. Y rápidamente nos acercamos al lugar. Está a unos 600 metros. Está un poquito lejos, pero bueno, no tenemos ningún punto más cercano, sinceramente. Menos mal que tenemos a ambrosía, ¿eh? De no tener al chocobo sería un camino bastante largo y mucho más pesado. Supongo que tendremos que encargarnos de unos bandidos, ¿no? Me imagino que habrán sido bandidos los que le hayan robado las pertenencias. Bueno, ya estamos cerquita. Estamos llegando. Apenas a unos 200 metros. Esta zona es por donde nos enfrentamos al Fastitocalón, ¿verdad? Quizá un poquito más adelante, pero sí, fue por esta zona. Menudo tortugón. Costó bastante vencerle. Tenía mucha resistencia, mucha defensa. Hemos llegado, chicos. Y ahí tenemos a los bandidos. A por ellos. Vamos a comenzar con unas llamas del renacer. Nos quitamos a los magos del medio. Genialísimo. Y ya nos quedamos cara a cara con el grandullón. Tornadito para ir bajando esa barra de vulnerabilidad. Estaremos atentos para derribarle. Ahí está. Le derribamos. Garras fulmíneas. Y vulnerable. Facilito. Muy facilito. Orbes candentes para ir haciendo un poco de daño extra. Y bueno, nos va a costar más de lo que pensaba. Tiene bastante defensa este tipo. Cuidadito con su hacha, que parece bastante peligrosa. Oh, hace un combo de 2 golpes. Ok. Uf, por poquito. Vaya, ese golpe me lo he comido. Se me da muy mal esquivar cuando me golpean de lado. No sé qué me pasa, pero me cuesta muchísimo esquivar de lado. Vamos, vamos, vamos. ¿Le dejamos vulnerable? ¡Otra vez! ¿Veis? Es lo que os digo. No sé qué me pasa, ¿eh? Pero cuando me golpean de lado es que me las como todas. Es increíble. Bueno, da igual. Ya estamos a punto de vencerle. Y además estamos recuperando vida con el modo superación. Un poquito más. Vamos, muérete ya. Ah, ya está, chicos. Bueno, pues enemigos derrotados. Bastante experiencia. Seda férrea, sangre negra. Y recuperamos las pertenencias.
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalamel.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself, and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosities. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my heels.
Are there many other collectors out there?
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield. And is a perennial thorn in my side.
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
Pues ni tan mal, puede que no hayamos obtenido la espada que quería Blackthorn, pero sí la piedra de afilar que ha conseguido que tuviera semejante filo. Creo que Blackthorn estará más que contento con lo que le llevamos. Eso espero. Vayamos a hablar con él y entreguémosle la piedra de afilar. ¿Nos hará el diseño de una nueva espada? ¡Ay, qué nervios!
Sorry for the wait. But hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword then?
I did better than that.
A whetstone?
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthean steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be delighted. Just don't push yourself too hard.
Don't you worry about me, sunshine. I'll be working day and night since I was half your age, and I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive. I mean it. I owe you one, August too. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
He'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
All right. I will.
Pues misión cumplida, chicos. Y fijaros en la recompensa. No solo por la experiencia, que es bastante, y además hemos subido de nivel. Mirad qué bien, nivel 36 ya. Sino por eso, diseño de Excalibur. Has conseguido el diseño de Excalibur. Pues no creáis que me voy a ir de la herrería sin echar un vistazo a ver si podemos crear esta espada. Vamos, vamos. Y podemos crearla, chicos. Necesitábamos el alma de Bomb que hemos conseguido en la anterior misión. Nada. Nos la equipamos claramente. Y una espada bastante potente. Nos vendrá muy bien para el resto de misiones que tenemos que hacer. Por cierto, se me olvidaba que ahora tenemos más espacio para objetos. Así que vamos a rellenarnos del todo de pociones, ultrapociones y sales, porque creo que vamos a necesitar estos objetos para una cacería que haremos. Bueno, probablemente lo dejaremos para el final, pero es una cacería bastante dura y creo, chicos, que ahí sí que vamos a tener que utilizar objetos. Estoy casi seguro. Bueno, sigamos con las cartas. Siguiente carta. Algo le pasa a Torgal. ¿Qué le pasa a nuestro perrito? Tu can formidable no lo está tanto estos días. Ven a verme cuando tengas un rato libre y te cuento en detalle. Pero ven, mendrugo. Caron. Ahora mismo voy, Caron.
What could be wrong with Torgal? He seemed well enough when I last saw him.
Misión aceptada. Un hueso duro de roer. Pues nada, chicos, vamos a hablar con Caron para que nos cuente qué es lo que está pasando con Torgal. Ya sabéis que Caron se ocupa mucho de cuidar a Torgal.
I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgal?
So you can read. Congratulations. But I didn't say how we're wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating my treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at them. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
Vaya, parece que Torgal no está comiendo demasiado y puede deberse a sus nuevos poderes. Ya sabemos que se transforma en Fenrir. Hablemos con Harpócrates, es el que más información tiene sobre los poderes de Torgal. Puede que nos ayude a saber por qué ahora mismo no está comiendo.
Lawsman, I need to ask you about Torgal. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite, which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
Vaya, así que no se debe a que Torgal haya perdido el apetito, sino a que no es capaz de saciarlo. Y Harpócrates nos ha hablado de unos enemigos que puede que logren que Torgal vuelva a comer. Pues vamos a ver si es así. Nos hemos venido a la fonda de Marta. Desde aquí nos vamos por la derecha, bajamos por esta calle y atravesamos el puente. Debemos dirigirnos a Cressida, la aldea que no sé si era de Gaff o de quién. Era la aldea natal de alguno de la Guarida, ¿verdad? Pero ahora mismo no recuerdo exactamente de quién. No sé si era Gaff, Otto u otra persona. Me suena que era Gaff, pero no estoy seguro. En fin. Bueno, Cressida está cerquita. Simplemente seguís el camino. Pasáis por debajo de la estructura esta. Y nada más atravesarla, ya podéis girar hacia la derecha. Y enseguida llegaréis a Cressida. Cuidado con el minotauro que hay por aquí. Vamos a pasar de largo. Atravesamos el puente. Y hemos llegado. Ahí tenemos a nuestros enemigos. O mejor dicho, a la comida de Torgal. Paleoantílope. Vamos a derrotarlo rápidamente. Son unos cuantos. Elimino a este y lanzo las llamas del renacer. Mucho daño aquí. Me lanzo los orbes para hacer un poquito más de daño. Y a por ellos. A rematarlos. Uno menos. Ahí hemos bloqueado un ataque. Bueno, de hecho, no me daba cuenta que podíamos haber lanzado los rayos del juicio. Pero bueno, ahora ya. Creo que solo queda este. Efectivamente. Enemigos derrotados. Piel de bestia.
Now, will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
Pues listo, gente. Vamos a volver a la guarida. Y tendremos que informar tanto a Caron como a Harpócrates, imagino. A ver con quién tenemos que hablar primero. Tenemos que hablar con Caron. Vamos a contárselo todo.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
You could say that.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, aye. Oh, nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
Listo. A partir de ahora, Caron le dará de comer esto a Torgal. Genial. Y ahora vamos a informar a Harpócrates de que ya hemos conseguido saciar el apetito de Torgal y de paso darle las gracias de parte de Caron.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's been a very happy hound ever since.
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow woke the power within him.
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought, but one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I'm not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend.
Pues misión cumplida. Vamos a ver la recompensa. No está mal en cuanto a experiencia. Y colmillo de cabal. Incrementa un poco el ataque de Torgal. Oh, no está nada mal. Solo que ocupar el espacio de un accesorio para aumentarle el ataque a Torgal no sé si me convence del todo. Tenía que tener sus propios accesorios Torgal. Y entonces estaría bien. Pues chicos, nos queda una misión secundaria más. Volvemos otra vez al camarote y leemos la última carta. Vamos a ver. Un asuntillo con las cuentas. Hombre, Clive, ¿qué tal? Qué raro se me hace esto de escribirte una carta. En fin, al grano, he estado revisando las cuentas de la guarida y me he topado con un pequeño desajuste. Sí, dejémoslo en eso, necesito tu ayuda para cuadrarlo, así que pásate a verme por el mostrador de la toldilla y si es cuanto antes mejor, Gaute. Ok, por cierto, debería de haberos saltado un trofeo tras leer esta carta, por haber leído 10 cartas.
Trouble with the ledgers. Shouldn't he be asking Otto for help?
Misión aceptada, en Números Rojos. Qué bien. Vayamos a hablar con Gaute y que nos explique qué está ocurriendo. A ver, supongo que mantener semejante guarida, porque es enorme comparado a la antigua guarida, pues hombre, tiene que costar un dineral, sinceramente. No sé exactamente de dónde sacan tanto dinero. Hay que dar de comer a toda la gente, hay que mantener la estructura, en fin, son muchos gastos. Hablemos con Gaute.
Clive, did you get my letter?
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Otto might be listening.
Is this better?
A little. Listen, I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may be slightly behind in its payment to certain lenders, and it may be my fault. But I swear to the goddess, I thought I had the numbers square. Sadly, that square turned out to be more of a circle. 0, you might say. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time, and I'm gonna need help keeping it from Otto.
Bit late for that, I'd say.
There you are! What a surprise!
So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lenders what they're due, and instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. And I hope he'll dig you out of the hole you've dug for yourself. Clive, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Why? Well, who needs paying?
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen. But only 500 talents.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil.
Each. 5 million each. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of oversight.
Those ledgers were my responsibility, and it was my decision to entrust them to you. This is my fault.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rosfield's purse enough. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're gonna make this work.
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, these are. A little something Sid and I set aside for when times got lean. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning than yours.
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me making the rounds, really. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses to wipe, and all that.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in your place.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed me.
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Yes.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really? Do you think so?
No, I don't.
Me ha encantado esta última parte. ¿Tú crees que Karen lo va a entender? No, vete despidiendo. La verdad es que es así, ¿eh? No creo que Karen lo entienda mucho. En fin, chicos, vamos a entregar esos rubíes de estrella tanto a Marta como a Isabel. Me dan ganas de salir corriendo con ellos después de saber que valen 10 millones de guiles cada uno, pero no podemos hacer eso, tenemos que ser buena gente. Venga, estamos aquí ya en la taberna de la fonda de Marta, así que hablamos con ella y le entregamos el rubí.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do.
Listo, Rubí entregado a Marta, aunque al principio no quería aceptarlo, pero más o menos la hemos obligado un poquito a ello, ¿no? Nos ha ayudado y qué menos que obsequiarla con ese rubí. Nos vamos ahora a Northridge para entregarle el otro rubí a Isabel. Vamos a ver dónde se encuentra nuestra querida meretriz. Ok, está ahí dentro de los muros. Está cerquita, a unos 100 metros. A ver, giramos a la derecha. Nada más entrar. Bajamos por las escaleras y enseguida la veréis. Pues nada, a deshacernos de otros 10 millones.
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the hideaway's debt with the veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that.
Qué buena gente, Isabel. Tampoco quería aceptar el rubí, pero yo creo que es lo menos que les debemos. No solo porque nos hayan prestado dinero para mejorar la guarida, sino porque nos han ayudado en todos los sentidos. Nos han dado cobijo, nos han defendido y también quieren un mundo justo como Clive. Entonces, creo que es lo menos que se puede hacer por ellos. Una vez que hayamos entregado ya los rubíes, volvemos aquí a la guarida, chicos, y hablamos con Gaute. ¿Habrá ido a hablar con Caron? ¿Seguirá vivo? Parece que sí, que sigue vivo.
Goat. Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Oh, about that, I tried my best, but she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
¿Caron rechazando un pago? ¿Es que hemos cambiado a un mundo paralelo? No me lo puedo creer. En serio, no me lo puedo creer. De hecho, me pegaría más que pidiera más dinero. Que no estuviera conforme con 10 millones de guiles. En fin, vayamos a hablar con ella y que nos explique a qué se debe semejante cambio.
Lady Karen, Goat tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you like me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you then? Get your ass beyond that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledges are square.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
You have, yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
Huh. I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died? 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to... I forget where. But having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, forget what I felt, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Misión cumplida, chicos. Me ha gustado mucho ver estas últimas imágenes en las cuales se veía la gran relación que había entre Sid y Otto. He hecho muchísimo de menos a Sid, muchísimo. Era un grande, ese personaje para mí de los mejores que hay. Pero bueno, es lo que hay. Debemos continuar, gente. Parece ser que tenemos una nueva recompensa aquí en el rincón del mecenas. Vamos a ver de qué se trata. Medallón de prior. Vamos a echar un vistazo porque no sé exactamente qué es lo que hace. Vamos a ver. ¿Para qué sirve ese medallón? Incrementa el efecto de las ultrapociones en un 25%. Uf, lo incrementa bastante, pero bueno, no me interesa. Aunque para lo que vamos a hacer ahora, si queréis equipároslo, no sería mala idea tampoco. Porque vamos a hacer una cacería bastante complicada y para eso debemos ir a Eastpool. Esta cacería ya os adelanto que es de clase S, con lo cual mucho cuidado. Y nos va a llevar unos cuantos niveles, no sé exactamente cuántos, ahora lo comprobaremos, pero estamos en nivel 36 y creo que esta cacería supera el nivel 40 seguramente. La escoria que buscamos se encuentra más allá de Crésida, donde ya estuvimos antes. No os preocupéis que cuando lleguemos os mostraré exactamente la ubicación en el mapa. Si os preguntáis por qué no hemos hecho esta escoria antes, cuando fuimos a por el resto de ellas, es porque al ser de clase S, lo mejor era esperar a tener la Excalibur para tener cierta ventaja, porque encima nos va a llevar bastantes niveles, con lo cual creo que era mucho mejor esperar a este momento para poder enfrentarnos a esta escoria. ¿Podríamos haberla derrotado antes? Sí, podríamos haberla derrotado, pero seguramente con más dificultad. Entonces esto ya queda un poco a juicio de cada uno, ¿no? Si queréis verlo como un reto y enfrentaros a esta escoria con un equipo algo peor, o ir con un equipo algo mejor y aún así va a seguir resultando difícil, os lo aseguro. Bueno, hemos llegado a Crésida, no sé por qué en esta zona no nos deja entrar con el chocobo, es algo que no comprendo exactamente, pero tenemos que ir andando. Esta zona, si no recuerdo mal, creo que ya la hemos explorado y había un par de cofres por la zona, nada importante, así que chicos, si no queréis abrir los cofres no lo hagáis. Y me parece que la zona por la que tenemos que ir es por aquí. Tenemos que llegar a un área bastante amplia, más allá de la aldea. Sí, justo aquí, chicos. Os muestro ubicación en el mapa. Ahí la tenéis, más a la derecha de Crésida. Y vamos allá. Vamos a agarrar ese brillo antes de acercarnos al golem que podéis ver al fondo, el cual puede parecer inactivo, pero... ¡sorpresa! Atlas, clase S. Mucho cuidado con esta escoria, chicos. Pega muy fuerte. Vale, va a comenzar con una serie de láseres fácilmente esquivables. Llamas del renacer. Esa barra de vulnerabilidad va a costar bastante bajarla. Cuidado, que se lanza con la espada. Fácil de esquivar también. Vale, eso no me lo esperaba. Hay que tener cuidado con esos rayos, esos haces de luz que puede enviar con la espada. Y sobre todo con el golpe que viene detrás. Como veis, cada golpe quita un buen trozo de vida. Hay que intentar esquivar la mayoría de golpes o bloquearlos. Es otra opción. Vamos con el tornadito para que vaya bajando esa barra. Ahora mucho cuidado porque no se ven sus ataques. Vale, vamos a poder derribarle. Le derribamos. Garras fulmíneas. Fijaros que Atlas tiene nivel 45, y nosotros tenemos nivel 36. Ojo con eso. Nos lleva casi 10 niveles. Nos lleva 9, para ser exactos. Esquivamos. Cuidado. Okay. Son 3 golpes, chicos. Tiene un combo de 3 golpes. Enseguida le vamos a dejar vulnerable. Haces de luz y golpe, vale. Cuidado. Contraataque. Cuidado. Hemos bloqueado, genial. Y vulnerable. Venga, modo superación. Golpeamos. Todo el daño posible. Tenemos otra vez las llamas del renacer. Las voy a hacer ahora para bajar un poquito más esa barra de vulnerabilidad. Tenemos también los rayos del juicio. Voy a guardármelos todavía. Este láser, cuidado. Madre mía, no esperaba que fuera tan rápido. Ojo, hay que tener mucho cuidado con esto. Vale, ahora sí. Ahora hemos logrado esquivarlo. Es que no me esperaba para nada que fuera tan rápido ese sable. Ojito, he tenido que utilizar una ultra poción. Buah, es que me reventó la mitad de la vida aproximadamente. Muy loco. Ahora sí que vamos con todo, vamos. Es que cada golpe de este tipo es tremendamente peligroso. Vale, esa barra está a punto de caer. Bombardeo celestial. Ojo, salimos del área. Mientras esquivamos también sus espadazos. Último golpe. Vale, podemos atacar. Ojo. El fuego ese que queda tras el haz de luz también hace daño, Mucho cuidado, mirad cómo tengo la vida. Es que me revienta. Es loquísimo. Loquísimo el daño que hace este tipo. Cómo se nota la diferencia de niveles. Bueno, aquí hemos recuperado bastante vida con el modo de superación. flechas del renacer. Sable etéreo. Ojo, cuidado, ya sabemos la velocidad. Bien. Vaya. Y otra vez. Menos mal que lo he esquivado. Creo que de no haberlo esquivado, igual me hubiese matado, ¿eh? Tenía 900 de vida. Salimos del área. ¿What? ¿Qué ha pasado aquí? Uf, madre mía. Menos mal que he esquivado. Estoy muy fastidiado de vida. Necesito curarme, pero ya. Voy a utilizar una ultra poción porque si no es que me revienta. A ver, realmente casi lo tenemos. No le queda demasiada vida ya. Vamos a aguantar hasta que desaparezca el tornado. Uf. Ha sido rápido ese sablazo. Vale, hemos logrado esquivar todo. Perfecto. Bien. Eso me lo he comido, pero fue por haber hecho el ala carmesí. Igualmente le dejamos vulnerable. Ya. Vamos recuperando vida. Y esto es mucho daño. Hay que admitir que Atlas a este nivel es bastante complicado. A lo mejor si vienes más o menos con su nivel o nivel 40, pues puede que sea mucho más sencillo de vencer, pero realmente ahora está costando bastante. Salimos por los pelos, pero hemos salido de nuevo. Eso creo que no nos alcanza. Vale. Buen esquive. Y no sé por qué no he podido esquivarlo. Os aseguro que le he dado, chicos. Pero es que madre mía. Tengo una tensión en este combate que no es normal. Buah, le queda nada. Le queda un píxel de vida. Vamos, vamos. Ahí está. Ahí está. Escoria derrotada. ¡Wow! Madre mía, qué de experiencia. 15.000 puntos. ¡Qué locura! Subimos de nivel, claramente. Nivel 37 ya. ¡Qué locura! Como botín nos dan hierro empíreo y oricalco. Dos materiales creo que bastante raros. Sobre todo este último. Este combate, sin duda alguna, para mí ha sido el más complicado que he tenido hasta el momento. Creo que ningún jefe ha estado a la altura de este combate. Bastante complicado. También hay que tener en cuenta la diferencia de nivel. Pues nada, chicos, con esto hemos derrotado todas las escorias y hemos hecho todas las misiones secundarias que había hasta el momento. Con lo cual, toca continuar historia y para eso tenemos que hablar con Otto. Así que vamos para allá y veamos qué nos cuenta.
All right, Clive. Asterix. We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that, in those words.
She did, yes.
Clive, were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
Así que Mid podría estar de camino a Camber. Dudo mucho que seamos capaces de alcanzarla y sobre todo necesitamos información a ver si alguien ha visto cómo se ha ido. Vamos a hablar con Óbolo a ver qué nos puede decir.
Obolus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry at all, are ya? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obeleth.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, uncle?
Vaya, ¿una carta de nuestro tío Byron? Una humilde petición. Hijo mío, me alegra comunicarte que mi expedición a Camber ha sido todo un éxito. El amigo que te comenté no solo ha accedido a financiar nuestras actividades, sino también a relatarme toda clase de sucesos que acontecen en las ciudades libres, a partir de los cuales he conocido a una amiga tuya. Aunque admiro el ingenio y arrojo de la señorita Telamón para embarcarse en la construcción del Enterprise, dudo que las autoridades de Camber vean con buenos ojos el uso no autorizado de sus astilleros. Por si fuera poco, los maestros de los gremios de mercaderes no tardarían en entrometerse en el proyecto. Es por ello que te escribo esta misiva. Me gustaría contar con la ayuda de tu joven espía Gav durante 1 o 2 lunas para que vigile a cualquiera que intente meter las narices donde no debe y nos avise de posibles ataques. Sé que no quieres prescindir de él, pero no te lo pediría si no fuese necesario. Espero tu respuesta.
Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Got to admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in and all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
Bueno chicos, pues aparecemos en el mapa y como veis lo único que tenemos disponible es la vieja guarida. Mucho tiempo sin venir aquí. Vamos a ver qué sucede.
Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. That if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Cooker is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in 2 places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
already, Karen? What a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there'll be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, Nan.
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot. There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav,
Already on my way, Captain.
be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
Esto sin duda cada vez se pone más interesante, chicos. Nos vamos a tener que infiltrar en la ahora capital del imperio, y creo que Bahamut nos estará esperando. Ya veremos qué ocurre. Por el momento, gente, lo vamos a dejar por aquí. Como siempre, deciros que espero que os esté gustando mucho la guía, que os esté resultando muy útil. Os agradecería un buen like, suscribiros al canal para más contenido y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. ¡Hasta pronto, gentecilla!